So I got this comment from Mr. Banks, who's got a law degree and did the LPC, which is short for the legal practice course, which basically means law school, and then didn't get a training contract, and now he's working in a 9 to 5 office job, and he wants some guidance and maybe start a business of his own or go self-employed. My advice for you will be based on two aspects. So the first is whether you want to continue a career in law and become a lawyer, or if you want to do something completely different. So to the first point, if you want to continue with a career in law, this will depend on the field you get into. Obviously, even within law, there's many different fields. Some are interesting, some are not. Obviously, for me, I didn't find any of them interesting, but it is what it is. So the first thing you really want to do is go to work for a city law firm or a big law firm, because what you will get done there is a stepping stone. Obviously, it looks good on your CV, but you will also learn systems and processes which big companies have that small companies just don't have. You don't want to go to these big companies to build a career there, because you'll be stuck in a crappy office environment for a very, very long time, and trying to get a training contract in these big companies and big firms is a long task. There's a massive application process, there's so many people applying, and then even if you are successful in getting past that application process, which could take a year, 2 years, you're then on a waiting list of another 2 3 years or whatever it is for that training contract to start, and then by the time it finishes, another 2 years. It's going to be a very, very long time. So really, I'm going to go to a big firm just to get it onto your CV, to use it as a stepping stone, to get some experience, and then you want to take what you've learned, especially with the systems and processes, to a smaller firm. Now, the reason you want to go to a smaller firm is because there isn't as much competition for a training contract. And if you work hard, if you apply yourself, if you demonstrate that you can get stuff done, and especially if you can implement some of the systems you've learned from a big firm into a smaller firm, then you will more likely get a training contract. And that's what happened to me. That's what I did. I didn't even apply for a training contract. I just worked for a year, worked really hard, and then they offered it to me themselves, mainly because there wasn't really that much competition as there is in a big firm. And also, you'll be surprised about how bad small law firms are. They are terribly run, terribly organized. They're a mess. Like, I worked as a consultant for many, many, many different firms, and a lot of these smaller firms think they're professional and they're this and that and the other, but when you get inside, they are running around like headless chickens. So you can come in and you can support them in many, many different ways, not just with legal work, but just how they run their systems and processes and operations in the back. The other thing that you want to get really good at is bringing clients to a firm. If you can get good at generating leads and bringing clients to a firm, you can then start to dictate terms. For example, you can start asking for commissions for the work you bring in. A lot of law firms will be paying referral fees or marketing fees or something to get business in anyway, because most lawyers and law firms absolutely suck at marketing. So this is an area they really struggle with. If you can bring clients with you, you can then ask for commissions for bringing those clients in, and it's just generally a good skill to develop, which you can use in any other business as well, not just in the legal industry. Now, I've bashed being a lawyer in the legal industry a lot, but at the end of the day, it still holds weight. The lawyer status that I have still holds weight. I am convinced I managed to book meetings with people who otherwise would not give me the time of day if I didn't have that status as a lawyer. Even though I market myself as an ex-lawyer now, it still holds weight and it still does look good. So it is worth getting the lawyer qualification, especially if you've got this far already. It's not going to really cost you that much more in terms of monetary expenses, which you mentioned. You've already paid the expenses for the law degree and for the LPC. Getting the training contract should bring you money, because you're getting paid for it rather than you having to fork anything out. However, if you are convinced that you don't want a career in law, which I don't blame you for, then the other step is for you to start your own business. Obviously, I don't know your personal circumstances, but if you are still relatively youngish and you are not married and you don't have children, it means you don't have that many responsibilities, and therefore you can take more risks than you otherwise will be able to do so when you do have children and you are married and you have other responsibilities. However, having said that, you don't want to be reckless. You've got a 9 to 5 job, stick with that job and then start a side hustle in the evenings and the weekends. Now you can try many different things. There's many options out there. Pick something you have some form of interest in. Who do you want to help? Why do you want to help them? What skills do you have? What experiences do you have? How can you use those to help them? If you don't have any skills, develop them. It can be video editing, it could be social media management, it could be absolutely anything, writing, copywriting. It doesn't matter. There's so many options out there. Just pick a skill, get good at it, learn how to get clients, service those clients, and start to build that side hustle. And then don't leave your job until that side hustle is bringing in as much income as your 9 to 5 job is, ideally more. And whatever you do, don't leave the 9 to 5 job, don't leave the stable job unless you've got, I would say, at least 12 months of living expenses. When you've got 12 months of living expenses, I would recommend going full-time into your business then, because people underestimate the amount of stress involved, the amount of money involved, the amount of time, energy and effort involved in starting a business. Obviously, every joker online is telling you how easy it is. It's not easy at all. So you don't want to have the pressure of needing to earn when you're starting a business, because there's so much to go through, so much to learn, so much to develop. Therefore, have 12 months in savings, so you can either have that by your side hustle or get a job which pays you commissions, because if you can get commissions on top of your salary, then you can start saving up and you can build that safety net of 12 months. And that's what I did at a law firm as well. I moved from a standard salary to a firm that was paying me a commission per case closed, and those started to add up. So my commissions were higher than my salary was, and that allowed me to save up a lot of money and make more than other kind of lawyers and case workers were making in the industry that I was in. And it allowed me to then become a consultant, start my own business, even start my own firm at one point. And that would not have been possible if I was on a standard salary stuck on it. So either get a job where you can get commissions and therefore earn more, or start a side hustle whilst you've got your 9 to 5 job, and then build that side hustle until it's making more than your 9 to 5 job. And like I said, there's many things you can do. Learn how to market yourself on TikTok, learn how to do LinkedIn or podcasts or anything. These are all skills. Although it seems saturated, most companies are absolutely awful at social media, and most people selling services on social media are not as good as the amount of money they're charging, and therefore there is still a market for all of these things. Get good at one thing and then sell that service to businesses who will happily pay you if you can get them the results. And although I've just made a video about screen time and staying off social media, the fact is social media is your ticket out of your 9 to 5. Use it to get attention, use it to then convert that attention into sales and then deliver a service. Don't overcomplicate the process, which a lot of people do. It literally is a matter of getting attention, converting that attention into sales, and then delivering on the product or service that you're offering, whether it's copywriting or video editing or whatever it is. Just get good at it, get testimonials, and then use those testimonials to get more clients, and then take it from there. Now, you might not know what you want to do, in which case I would suggest doing something, trying it and see how you get along. And if you don't like it, try something else, but give it a good 3 to 6 months before you move on to something else, because even if you don't like it, you will still be developing a skill, and you can have a whole range of skills which you can then use as you develop and get better at whatever it is that you do. And again, because you're young, don't get caught in the trap of needing to get things right, needing things to be perfect, caring what people think. All of that does not matter. You are young, take risks. Don't be reckless, but still take risks, meaning don't worry if you fail, don't worry if you mess up. Nobody cares, nobody's bothered, only you are, and you'll get over it. So be free from worry and anxiety, from the fear of failure. There is no failure, there's only learning and development. And just do something and do something again until you find something that you don't mind doing for the rest of your life. And it doesn't even have to be for the rest of your life. Your circumstances are going to change, your skills and interests are going to change, but find something that you can apply to get good at, and then you can offer it as a service, and that will help you on your journey in self-employment. And again, I know everybody tells you that you need to start a business these days, but you can maybe even find companies that are worth working for. So a lot of people are flexible these days, so it might be that you can find a company that doesn't stick you into a rigid 9 to 5 role. They're more flexible, they give you more time off, and they give you different kind of opportunities. It might be better for you to find a company like that and work for them. But if you do want to go, obviously, the self-employment road, that's open as well. Just develop skills, get clients, deliver, and repeat. Hope that helps. Any other questions? Let me know.